Marvel fans, comic geeks, and all nerds in between. My name is Megan, and I'm here with another character breakdown. And it is a character that has been talked about quite a bit ever since the leaked Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, the actual Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer was released. So I want to talk to you about this character. We're going to talk about the Grey Hulk. Back in May of 1962, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby introduced the world to the Incredible Hulk #1. Lee's original idea was basically, what if Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde got blasted with gamma radiation? He wanted Bruce Banner to transform into the Hulk at night and do all things Bruce was way too shy, too nervous, too repressed to do himself. Fun fact, Hulk was originally supposed to be gray, not green. The problem was that the 1960s printing technology absolutely hated consistency. One issue, Hulk would look very gray. The next, he'd look like someone spilled printer ink on him. That whole thing. Eventually, Lee got tired of fighting the printing presses and said, fine, make him green. And comic book history was changed forever. For years, most readers assumed Grey Hulk and Green Hulk were just the same guy with a paint job problem. Turns out, no. Grey Hulk is its own thing entirely. The giant green rage monster everyone knows is actually what's often called the Savage Hulk. So the Incredible Hulk, all that, the green one, that is the Savage Hulk. According to later comics and later arcs and later stories, especially in Immortal Hulk, Grey Hulk's origins go way deeper than a coloring error. He actually started forming in Bruce Banner's childhood as part of Bruce's dissociative coping mechanisms. You see, Bruce Banner has dissociative identity disorder, or DID. His mind is split into different alters, like the Savage Hulk or the Grey Hulk. After years of abuse from his father, young Bruce basically decided he needed to become a man who could protect himself. Grey Hulk was that childish idea made in the flesh. Big, tough, fearless, completely unwilling to take crap from anybody. As the comics put it, he is essentially a child's idea of a man. Compared to Green Hulk, Grey Hulk is less irritated and generally weaker. Whenever the big green guy is around, Grey Hulk usually gets shoved into the back seat. Everyone is in the same car, but one has the steering wheel. And that's basically how it is in Bruce Banner's head. But every now and then, Bruce gets cured of being the Hulk, which happens way more often than you'd think, and that's when Grey Hulk gets a chance to grab the steering wheel. When he does appear, he often follows the old-school Hulk rule where transformations are tied to day and night. Then things get even more weird, because it wasn't already weird. During a major comic arc, I believe it was in the Incredible Hulk number 347, Grey Hulk gets hit by a nuclear explosion, fakes his own death, and through a series of very comic book reasons, ends up with complete control of their shared body for about 3 months. Naturally, he immediately runs off to Las Vegas. Because if you're a big, giant, gray superhuman with identity issues, where else are you going to go? In Vegas, he falls in with a casino-owning mobster who takes him under his wing. The Grey Hulk gets a new name, Joe Fixit. The Fixit part comes from his job as a fixer, basically hired muscle who solves problems, usually by introducing them to his fists. Despite acting like a mob enforcer, he secretly retains a lot of Bruce Banner's intelligence. In fact, a fight with the Thing, who is Ben Grimm, reveals he's surprisingly analytical and incredibly good at thinking on his feet. Later stories, especially, still Immortal Hulk, lean even harder into the idea that Joe is way smarter than people give him credit for. As for the name Joe, there's some old media reference buried in there somewhere, but Joe's mob boss mentor mostly says it's because Joe is his favorite gray ape, which is surprisingly affectionate by mafia standards. Joe Fixit himself explains the difference best. He isn't the Hulk most people know. He's not the giant green rage baby. He's the part of Bruce Banner that acts on selfish desires. Greed, lust, power, destruction, and all of the impulses Bruce normally keeps locked up. But unlike Savage Hulk, Joe isn't portrayed as dumb. Not even close. In fact, Grey Hulk is one of the smartest Hulk personalities around. As Joe Fixit, he works as a Las Vegas mob enforcer, gets into endless trouble, and throws down with everyone from Spider-Man to Wolverine and plenty of other Marvel heavy hitters. Calling Joe a hero is generous. He's usually somewhere between anti-hero and outright villain. Most of his good deeds happen because there's money, or power, or freedom, or some other personal benefit involved. If saving the day helps Joe Fixit, then sure, he might save the day. Power-wise, Joe still has the standard Hulk package: super strength, speed, durability, and rage-fueled power boosts. His strength grows with anger too, but nowhere near as dramatically as Savage Hulk's. He's weaker than the Savage Hulk physically, but far smarter and much more calculating. He also fully embraces the mob aesthetic, usually rocking a pinstripe suit, fedora, and enough attitude to fill a casino. So basically, he is a vibe. Unlike many Hulk incarnations, Joe has absolutely no problem with using guns if it gets the job done. And despite being considered one of the weaker Hulks, Joe has a habit of pulling off incredible feats anyways. At one point, the United States government hired him to stop an asteroid headed straight towards Earth. Not just any asteroid either. It was supposedly twice the size of Earth itself. Joe's solution? One punch. The asteroid was gone. The problem was fixed. And let's be clear, for a guy named Joe Fixit, that's pretty much the most on-brand thing imaginable. So, that is Joe Fixit. That is the Gray Hulk. I'm sure many of you have seen somewhere online where they're talking about the Gray Hulk being in the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. Who's to know? But if you're curious, I hope this answered any questions for you. So, with that being said, I hope you liked this episode. I hope you will like and subscribe, and I hope you have a marvelous day.